July 15, 1998, Jenny Lake, Wyoming, 8:47 a.m. Cody Gifford, 13 years old, is drowning in water that's 46 degrees Fahrenheit. His body is shutting down. The hypothermia has already started. His muscles don't respond. The scout leader screams for help, but the nearest ranger station is 4 miles away. In 6 minutes, brain damage begins. In 8, it's irreversible. Cody has maybe 4 minutes left. Then a man 200 meters away, grey hair, fishing alone, wearing a worn denim jacket, drops his rod, takes off his boots, and runs into the water. What this man does in the next 90 seconds will change a mother's life forever, but she won't know his name for 20 years. Here is the story. Jenny Lake sits at 6,583 feet elevation in Grand Teton National Park. The water comes from glacial melt. Even in July, it never gets warmer than 50 degrees. 16 Boy Scouts from Troop 224 are camping on the eastern shore. It's their 3rd day. They've been hiking, learning knots, identifying plants. Cody Gifford is the youngest, thin, glasses, quiet kid who reads books about astronomy. He's not the strongest swimmer, but he insisted on joining the lake activity. His mother, Sarah, had hesitated when signing the permission slip. Something in her gut said no. But Cody had begged. "Mom, I'll be careful. I promise." She signed it. 8:42 a.m. The scouts are 40 feet from shore. Some are practicing swimming strokes, some are floating on their backs. Cody is treading water, trying to keep up with the others. Then his foot cramps, sharp, sudden. His left calf locks into a rigid knot. He gasps, tries to call out. Water fills his mouth. He goes under, comes back up, coughs, goes under again. His arms flail. The cold is already slowing his movements. 2 scouts notice. They yell, start swimming toward him. But they're teenagers, panicking themselves. One reaches Cody, tries to grab him, but Cody's thrashing pushes them both under. The scout leader, Dennis Shaw, 34 years old, is on the shore putting away supplies. He hears the screaming, turns, sees the chaos. He runs into the water, but he's wearing hiking boots, jeans, a heavy flannel shirt. The weight drags him down. He's only 20 feet in when he realizes he can't reach Cody fast enough. He screams toward the parking lot. "Help! Someone! Help!" His voice echoes off the mountains, bounces back, empty, except it isn't empty. 200 meters south, near a cluster of pine trees, a man is fly fishing. He's been there since dawn. No one around, just him and the water. He's 56 years old. His hair is more gray than brown now. His hands have scars from years of manual work, building sets, flying planes, fixing engines. He's wearing polarized sunglasses, a faded Patagonia jacket, boots that have seen 10,000 miles. He came to Wyoming to disappear. No cameras, no interviews, no one asking him to smile for photos, just the rhythm of casting a line, the silence. Then he hears the scream. He doesn't think. He reacts, drops the rod. It falls into the shallow water, drifts away. He kicks off his boots, doesn't take time to unlace them, just pulls hard, throws them aside. His jacket stays on, no time. He runs, full sprint. His knees ache, old injuries from stunts, from crashes, from decades of pretending to be indestructible. But he doesn't slow down. He hits the water at full speed. The cold punches his chest like a fist. His breath catches. He pushes through, swims. Cody has been under for 23 seconds. The man cuts through the water. His stroke is efficient. Not fast, he's not young anymore, but precise. Years of swimming in oceans for movie shoots. Years of training for water rescues as a volunteer pilot. He knows how cold steals strength, how panic kills faster than drowning. He reaches the cluster of scouts. They're all yelling, grabbing at each other. He shouts, "Get back! Back to shore! Now!" His voice cuts through the chaos. Not angry, commanding. The scouts obey, swim back. Except for one, Marcus, 15, who's still trying to reach Cody. The man grabs Marcus by the shoulder. "You can't help him if you drown. Go." Marcus hesitates, looks at the man's eyes. Something in them, Calm, absolute, makes him turn around. Swim. Cody has been under for 41 seconds. The man dives, eyes open despite the cold. The water is murky, glacial silt suspended everywhere. Visibility is maybe 3 feet. He sweeps his arms wide, feels nothing, dives deeper. His lungs start to burn. Then his hand hits something. Fabric. He grabs, pulls. Cody's body is limp, heavy. The man wraps his arm around the boy's chest and kicks. Up, up. His legs scream. The cold has seeped into his muscles. He kicks harder. They break the surface. Cody's face is blue, lips purple, eyes half open, not moving. The man doesn't swim to shore. He flips Cody onto his back, holds him in a cross-chest carry, and starts kicking. The shore is 40 feet away. Might as well be a mile. Every kick is slower than the last. His jacket is waterlogged, 15 extra pounds pulling him down. He doesn't stop, doesn't call for help, just breathes. Kicks, breathes, kicks. 30 feet. 20, 10. His boots, the ones he kicked off, are still on the shore where he left them. His fishing rod is gone somewhere downstream. He'll never see it again. He doesn't care. His knee scrapes the rocky bottom. He stands, pulls Cody up, drags him onto the shore. The scouts are in a semicircle, staring, silent, terrified. The man lays Cody on his side. Water pours from his mouth, but he's not breathing. The man tilts Cody's head back, checks the airway. Clear. He places his hands on Cody's chest, just below the sternum. Start compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. His hands are steady. His face shows nothing, but inside, he's counting. After 30 compressions, he gives 2 rescue breaths, mouth to mouth. Cody's chest rises, falls, doesn't rise again. Another round. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Nothing. One of the scouts whispers, "He's dead." The man doesn't respond, doesn't look up, just keeps going. His hands press down. The rhythm is mechanical, perfect. He learned this decades ago, practiced it for a film where he played a Coast Guard pilot. Never thought he'd actually use it. Another round. 30 compressions. 2 breaths. Cody coughs. Water erupts from his mouth. His body convulses. The man rolls him to his side. Cody vomits lake water, gasps. His eyes flutter. Still blue, but breathing. Shallow, rapid, but breathing. The man takes off his soaked jacket, wraps it around Cody. "You're okay, kid. Stay with me." "You're okay." Cody's eyes focus, unfocus, focus again. He tries to speak. Nothing comes out. The man holds his hand. "Don't talk. Just breathe. Slow. In, out, in, out." Cody's fingers are ice. The man rubs them. Friction, warmth, anything. Dennis Shaw, the scout leader, is on the shore, hands shaking, trying to dial 911 on a cell phone. No signal. He runs toward the parking lot. Another scout, Kevin, 16, sprints with him. They reach the payphone at the ranger station. Call comes in at 8:51 a.m. "Dispatcher, what's your emergency?" Dennis can barely form words. "Drowning, Jenny Lake, boy, 13, he's breathing, but..." The dispatcher cuts him off. "Ambulance en route. ETA 18 minutes. 18 minutes. The man looks at Cody. The boy is shivering violently now. A good sign. His body is trying to warm itself, but 18 minutes in wet clothes at this temperature is dangerous. The man looks around. The scouts are huddled together. None of them have jackets. They left everything at the campsite. The man stands, walks to his truck parked 50 meters away. His legs barely work. He opens the back, pulls out a wool blanket, a sleeping bag, a thermos of coffee. Walks back, wraps Cody in the blanket, unzips the sleeping bag, drapes it over the blanket, unscrews the thermos. "Just smell it, don't drink, just smell." The steam rises. Cody's nose is inches away. The warmth helps. The scouts stare at the man. They still don't know who he is. One of them, Marcus, the one who tried to help, asks, "What's your name?" The man doesn't answer. He's watching Cody, checking his pulse, counting breaths per minute. After a long silence, he says, "Doesn't matter." 8:57 a.m. Cody's breathing has stabilized, still shallow but regular. His color is coming back, pale, not blue. The man sits next to him, doesn't say anything, just sits. The scouts don't move, don't speak. The wind through the pines is the only sound. 9:03 a.m. The ambulance arrives. Two paramedics, a woman in her 40s, a man in his 30s, run down the trail with equipment. The woman drops next to Cody, checks vitals, pupils, temperature. She looks at the man. "You pulled him out?" "Yes." "You did CPR?" "Yes." "How long was he under?" "Maybe a minute, 90 seconds. She nods, wraps a thermal blanket around Cody. The male paramedic brings the stretcher. They lift Cody carefully, strap him in. Cody's eyes are open now. He looks at the man, tries to say something. The man shakes his head. "You're gonna be fine, kid, just rest." The female paramedic pauses. "We need your information for the report." The man stands. His jeans are still dripping. His shirt is plastered to his chest. He's shivering, has been for 10 minutes, but didn't show it. "The boy's alive, that's all that matters." "We need a name for the paperwork." The man looks at her, then at the scouts, then at the lake. He bends down, picks up his boots. Doesn't put them on, just holds them. "The kid did great, got him to shore, I just helped. That's not..." But the man is already walking away, toward his truck. He doesn't run, doesn't rush, just walks. Calm, steady, like nothing happened. The paramedics load Cody into the ambulance. Dennis Shaw tries to chase after the man. "Wait, sir, please!" But the man is already in his truck. A dark green Ford F-150, Wyoming plates. He starts the engine, drives away, doesn't speed. Just merges onto the road and disappears south toward Jackson Hole. Dennis stands in the parking lot, breathing hard. He didn't even get the license plate. 9:47 a.m. Sarah Gifford is at work. She's a high school teacher in Casper, 214 miles from Jenny Lake. She's grading papers when her cell phone rings. Unknown number. She almost doesn't answer, but something makes her pick up. "Hello? Mrs. Gifford, this is St. John's Medical Center in Jackson. Your son Cody was involved in an incident. He's stable, but..." She doesn't hear the rest. The phone drops. She's already running. She drives 214 miles in 3 hours, breaks the speed limit in 5 counties, parks crooked in the emergency room lot, runs inside. The receptionist tries to slow her down. "Ma'am, you need to..." Sarah doesn't stop. She sees Dennis Shaw in the waiting area. His face tells her everything. She grabs his arm. "Where is he?" "Room 3. He's okay. He's okay." She pushes through the double doors. A nurse tries to intercept her. "Only family." Sarah doesn't break stride. Room 3. She opens the door. Cody is in the bed, wrapped in heated blankets, IV in his arm, oxygen tube in his nose, but his eyes are open. When he sees her, he starts crying. She runs to him, holds him, doesn't say anything, just holds him. A doctor enters. Dr. Patricia Moreno, 51, emergency medicine. She's seen drownings before. Most don't end like this. She touches Sarah's shoulder gently. "He's going to be fine. No brain damage, no lung damage. Body temperature is back to normal. He'll stay overnight for observation, but..." She pauses. "Mrs. Gifford, your son is alive because someone knew exactly what to do and did it perfectly." Sarah pulls back, looks at Cody, then at the doctor. "Who? Who saved him?" Dr. Moreno looks at her chart. "No name in the report. The paramedics said a man pulled him out and performed CPR, but he left before they could get his information." "What did he look like?" The doctor looks at Dennis Shaw, who followed Sarah into the room. Dennis steps forward. "Older, maybe 50s, grey hair, tall. He was fishing, wore a blue jacket, drove a green truck. That's all I saw." Sarah's voice shakes. "Where is he?" "I don't know. He left before we could thank him." Sarah sits next to Cody's bed, holds his hand. She's quiet for a long time. Then she whispers, I need to find him. She spends the next 3 days in Jackson Hole, goes to the lake every morning, asks every ranger, every fisherman, every local, "Have you seen a man, grey hair, fishing a lone green Ford truck?" Nobody knows. She puts an ad in the Jackson Hole News and Guide, "Seeking man who saved drowning boy at Jenny Lake, July 15th. Please contact." She includes her phone number, checks it every hour. No calls. She goes back to Casper, back to work, back to normal life, except it isn't normal. Every night, before bed, she writes in a journal. Always the same thing. "Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for my son." Cody heals. Physically, he's fine within 2 weeks. Emotionally, it takes longer. He has nightmares about the water, about the cold, about the sensation of drowning, the way panic erases everything, the way your body stops obeying your brain. He stops swimming, won't go near lakes. His mum takes him to therapy. It helps. Slowly. 6 months later, he can look at photos of water without his chest tightening. But he never forgets the voice. "You're okay, kid. Stay with me. You're okay." Deep, calm, certain. He doesn't remember the man's face. The water had blurred everything, but he remembers the voice. He asks his mom about it sometimes. "Do you think we'll ever find him?" She always says the same thing. "I don't know, honey, but I haven't stopped looking." Years pass. Cody graduates high school, goes to community college, studies emergency medicine. When people ask why, he tells them about the lake, about the man who saved him, about how someone he never met gave him a second chance at life. He becomes an EMT, then a paramedic, then a firefighter. Every time he pulls someone from a car wreck, every time he performs CPR, every time he brings someone back, he thinks about the man at the lake. Sarah keeps looking. Every few months, she goes back to Jenny Lake, stands at the shore, says thank you to the mountains, to the water, to the ghost of a man she never met. 2018, 20 years after the drowning. Sarah is 59 now. Cody is 33. He's married, has a daughter, Emma, 18 months old. He's been a firefighter for 8 years, saved 26 lives. He tells Sarah sometimes that every life he saves feels like paying forward the debt he owes. October 14th, 2018. Sarah is in a bookstore in Casper, Barnes & Noble. She's killing time before a dentist appointment, browsing the biography section. She picks up a book at random. Harrison Ford, a biography by someone she's never heard of, unauthorized. She almost puts it back, but she's always liked his movies. Indiana Jones, Han Solo. She flips through it casually. Page 287, a footnote, small, easy to miss. In 1998, Ford was fishing in Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park when he assisted in a water rescue. Details remain scarce as Ford declined to speak with local media about the incident. Sarah stops breathing. 1998, Wyoming. Grand Teton, water rescue. Her hands shake. She reads it again and again. The book doesn't say which lake, doesn't give a date, just that one sentence. But Sarah knows. She knows the way you know the sun will rise, the way you know your child's cry in a crowd. She knows. She buys the book, drives home, doesn't go to the dentist, sits at her kitchen table, opens her laptop, types, Harrison Ford, Wyoming, 1998 rescue. Nothing. Harrison Ford, Jackson Hole fishing. Hundreds of results. Articles about how he owns property there, about how he's a licensed pilot, about how he's part of the local search and rescue volunteer team, about how he's rescued hikers, transported injured climbers, pulled people from car accidents. Always in Wyoming, always quietly, never interviews, never press. She looks at photos, dozens of them. Ford in his 50s, grey hair, tall, worn denim jacket in one photo from 1997, green Ford truck in another. She sits back, closes her eyes. 20 years. She's been looking for 20 years, and the man who saved her son is one of the most famous people on earth. She doesn't know whether to laugh or cry. She does both. She writes a letter. It takes her 4 hours. She rewrites it 11 times. Finally, she settles on this. Mr. Ford, my name is Sarah Gifford. On July 15th, 1998, you pulled my son Cody from Jenny Lake. He was 13 years old. He was drowning. You saved his life. You performed CPR. You kept him warm. You made sure he was okay. Then you left before we could thank you. I've been trying to find you for 20 years. I finally know who you are. I'm not writing to ask for anything. I don't want publicity. I don't want photos. I don't want to intrude on your life. I just want you to know. My son is 33 now. He's a firefighter. He saved 26 lives. He has a daughter named Emma. None of that would exist without you. You gave me my son back. You gave him a life. You gave Emma her father. I know you didn't want recognition. I know you never told anyone, but I need you to know you changed everything. Thank you, Sarah. She doesn't have his address, so she sends the letter to his publicist, then to his agent, then to his lawyer's office in Los Angeles. She doesn't know if he'll ever see it, but she sends it anyway. 6 weeks pass, nothing. Then, January 9th, 2019, a package arrives at Cody's firehouse. No return address. Inside, a photograph. 8E10, glossy. It shows a helicopter, a Bell 407, sitting on a mountain ridge at sunset. In the pilot's seat, visible through the windshield, is Harrison Ford. He's looking at the camera, not smiling, just looking. On the bottom right corner, in black pen, someone has written, "Keep saving lives." H. Cody stares at it for 10 minutes. His captain asks what it is. Cody doesn't answer. He takes the photo home, frames it, hangs it in his daughter's room. When Emma is old enough to ask about it, he'll tell her the story, about the lake, about the cold, about the man who saved him and never asked for anything in return. Sarah never gets a response to her letter. But 3 months after the photo arrives, she's watching the local news. A report about wildfires in Wyoming, volunteer pilots transporting injured firefighters to hospitals. The camera shows a helicopter landing. The pilot steps out. Grey hair, worn jacket. The reporter tries to approach. The pilot waves her off, keeps walking. The camera catches his face for just a second. It's Ford. Sarah smiles. She doesn't need a response. The photo was enough. Toby 23. Cody is 38, still a firefighter. Emma is 6. She asks him why he became a firefighter. He tells her about the lake, about the man who saved him, about the voice that said, "You're okay, kid. Stay with me." Emma asks if he ever met the man. Cody shows her the photo on her wall, not in person. "But I know who he is. Can we meet him? Maybe someday, but I don't think he'd want that." Why? Cody thinks about that, about how Ford never told anyone, about how he left before the paramedics could get his name, about how he spent 40 years being the most famous man in the world, but chose silence when it mattered most. Because, Cody says, some people don't save lives for the attention. They do it because it's the right thing to do. June 2024. A podcaster, Michael Chen, 34, runs a show called Survival Stories, reaches out to Cody. He's heard about the rescue through a mutual friend, asks if Cody would share the story on air. Cody hesitates. His mother told him years ago, "The man who saved you didn't want recognition. We should respect that." But 26 years have passed, and Cody thinks maybe the world needs to hear what real heroism looks like. He agrees. The episode airs July 12, 2024. Title, The Anonymous Fisherman. Cody tells the story, every detail, the lake, the cold, the voice, the man who disappeared. At the end, he reveals, "I found out later who he was. It was Harrison Ford." The episode goes viral. 2 million downloads in the first week. Reporters call. TMZ, People Magazine, Entertainment Tonight. They all want comment from Ford. His publicist issues a one-sentence statement. Mr. Ford does not wish to discuss this matter. A producer from Universal Pictures calls Sarah. Offers $3 million for the rights to the story. Wants to make a movie. Think of it, he says. Harrison Ford playing himself, saving a kid. It's perfect. Sarah hangs up on him. Blocks the number. Another producer calls, then another, then a literary agent, then a reality TV show. Sarah changes her number. A journalist from the New York Times tracks her down, asks for an interview. Sarah agrees, but only on one condition. You don't sensationalize this. You don't turn it into entertainment. This isn't a story about a celebrity. It's a story about what one human did for another when nobody was watching. The article runs, page A1, August 3rd, 2024. Headline, The Hero Hollywood Never Knew About. It's fair, respectful. It doesn't turn Ford into a saint, doesn't exploit the story, just tells the truth. Ford still doesn't comment. But on August 15th, a donation is made to the Jackson Hole Fire Department. $50,000. Anonymous. The department uses it to fund water rescue training for every firefighter in the county. Sarah knows who sent it. October 2024. Sarah drives to Jenny Lake. It's been 2 years since she last came. She brings something with her. A small bronze plaque. She had it made at a local metal shop. It costs $200. It says, in recognition of countless unnamed heroes who act without expectation of recognition. She doesn't ask for permission to place it, just walks to the spot where Cody almost died. Where the man pulled him out, where everything changed. She digs a small hole, sets the plaque into the ground, covers it with stones so it won't wash away. A ranger sees her doing it, approaches. "Ma'am, you can't..." Then he reads the plaque. He doesn't finish his sentence, just nods, walks away. The plaque stays. 3 weeks later, a fisherman, local in his 70s, sees the plaque, reads it, tells a friend. The friend tells the ranger. The ranger tells Sarah. A man comes here every few weeks. Grey hair, always alone. He was here yesterday. He stood at the plaque for a long time, didn't say anything, just stood there. Sarah asks, did he say his name? No, but I recognized him. It was Harrison Ford. Sarah drives to the lake that afternoon. She doesn't expect to find him, but she goes anyway. She stands at the plaque, looks at the water, at the mountains, at the sky. She says out loud, to no one, thank you for everything. The wind carries her words across the lake. There are two kinds of people in this world, those who do good when cameras are rolling, and those who do good when no one will ever know. Hollywood has spent a century selling us the first kind, the heroes who save the world while millions watch, the ones who get the applause, the medals, the parades. Harrison Ford has played that hero 100 times on screen. But the heroism he chose in real life is different, quiet, unseen, unrewarded. He saved Cody Gifford in 1998 and told no one. He saved hundreds of others in his helicopter over the next 26 years and never gave an interview. He's 82 now, still flying, still rescuing, still refusing to talk about it. Sarah Gifford says it best in a journal entry she wrote in 2019 after the photo arrived. You gave me back my son, but you never wanted me to know your name. That says more about you than any movie ever could. Hollywood turns heroism into a product. Ford turned heroism into a habit. And maybe that's why, when we look at his career, 40 years of being Han Solo, Indiana Jones, Rick Deckard, we don't just see an actor. We see a man who understood the difference between playing a hero and being one. The difference is simple. Real heroes don't wait for the credits to roll. Today, Cody Gifford has been a firefighter for 16 years. He saved 47 lives. When people ask why he chose that profession, he tells them about the man at the lake, about the voice that said, "You're okay, kid. Stay with me." He's told that story 1,000 times, but there's one part he always saves for last. "I never got to thank him in person," Cody says, "but every time I pull someone from a fire, every time I bring someone back with CPR, every time I save a life, I'm thanking him, because he showed me what heroism actually looks like. It's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's not for applause, it's just doing the right thing when no one else will. And then walking away before anyone can call you a hero. Have you ever done something good that nobody will ever know about? Have you ever helped someone and disappeared before they could thank you? Tell me in the comments, because the world needs more heroes like Harrison Ford. The ones who don't need an audience, the ones who don't need recognition, the ones who understand that the most important moments in life are the ones nobody sees. And unfortunately, they don't make men like Harrison Ford anymore.